Many years ago, a good friend of mine and I were talking about our dreams. At a point in time, he said that he felt unfulfilled with his job. He wanted to quit, start his own speaking business, travel around the world, inspire people, and make a lot of money and have time freedom. For myself, I wanted to become a strong investor. That was more than 10 years ago. Just a few years back, he messaged me on Facebook because he saw my investment success on the TV, on the radio, on the newspapers. I messaged him and asked him how was he, and he told me that he was still stuck in his job. So I managed to get him out and asked about what really happened. After talking to him, I realized the difference between him and myself. For me, I completed what I call the dream matrix exercise, and for him, he did not complete it. So I sat down with him to complete this dream matrix, and I hope that you can do this exercise yourself because you may be missing out on your dream if you don't do this. Now, at a point in time, he was in this situation. He disliked his job. And he wanted to come here, which is to become a speaker, have a business, have more time and financial success. So the question is, why didn't he jump from here to here? It's because he did not take action. And upon further investigation, he told me the reason he didn't take action is because he may fear. Meaning to say, he's thinking of the worst case scenario, which I think is a fair and logical assumption because we have to be responsible and think of what if things don't work out. Now, let's look at what happened if he took action and what is the worst case scenario. He told me that if he feared, he will lose his business, he will lose money, and he will lose his job, and his wife will leave him. So these were the things that he was afraid of, and that's why he did not take action, because this may possibly happen. I told him that this was ridiculous because he was comparing the worst case scenario here to the best case scenario here. This is an incomplete dream matrix exercise. To complete it, you need to take 2 additional steps. The first step is, what is the worst case scenario here if you don't take action? Is it guaranteed that you will still have your job, given the uncertainty in the economy, plus the fact that he disliked his job? And with that kind of attitude, do you think that it's confirmed and guaranteed that you will have your job? No, the answer is he may lose his job anyway. And the truth is, he may lose money because of that, and he may lose his wife. So, isn't it the same as this scenario? And he told me this. He told me that he will work enough to make sure that this doesn't happen. This is a good point. This brings me to the second step. If you can work enough to make sure this doesn't happen, why don't you work to mitigate the risk here? Now, what do I mean? Number one is, could you actually, before quitting your job, do some pro bono speaking to make sure you understand the market and to build your portfolio? And when there's market demand, that's where you actually quit your job to start your business. Then in that case, your business will not fail because you start with a success. So you will not lose your job, you will not lose money, you will not lose your wife. And the next thing is this, could you also possibly, instead of quitting your job immediately, tell your boss you want to take a 1-year sabbatical, meaning to say you go and explore it for 1 year, and the worst case scenario here is, if this doesn't work out, you go back to doing your job. So when you actually do this, your dream matrix exercise is more complete and you can make better decisions. But he told me this, if I take a 1-year sabbatical, it may affect my promotion in this job, in a job that he disliked. So to me, this is very ridiculous. Now, once you have a complete dream matrix exercise, let's do worst case to worst case comparison and best case to best case. Now, let's look at the worst case scenario if you start a business. As mentioned, the worst case is, if everything fails, you go back to doing your job. Do you realize that the worst case here is the best case here? And if you don't take action, the worst case is you may lose your job anyway. So it is comparable. So the best case scenario if you don't take action is he will stay in a job he dislikes. But don't forget, there may be a chance you lose your job. Even the president may get impeached. What makes you so good to be entitled for a job forever? Let's look at the best case scenario here. If you take action towards your dreams, there may be a possibility that you may live your dream to become someone that you really want to be. And that was my story, and that's how I took action. What about your dreams? Comment below on what your dreams are, and let's do this dream matrix exercise and go ahead and get your dreams. I'll see you in the next video.